Watching someone you love get weaker is hard, and my stepdad has reached the point where walking longer distances is difficult and honestly not very safe. He has trouble with his balance and is at risk of falling, so we needed something lightweight that would help us get him through parking lots, into appointments, and from place to place without exhausting him. The first thing I want to show you is just how slim this wheelchair really is. I put it beside his rolling walker with the seat, and the wheelchair is actually slimmer than the walker. So I always think of wheelchairs as being really large and bulky, right? But this one is surprisingly compact. This is a transport wheelchair. So it's designed for a caregiver to push, and it's not the type with the big side wheels that the person uses to move themselves. So for what I needed, this actually works perfectly. And we did our research and we looked at a few of these, and this one is actually a bestseller. It was also fairly easy to put together right out of the box, and the instructions were really easy to follow, and we didn't have to spend like forever trying to figure out how everything worked, and everything was in English. So we could read it. So once it was ready, it was, simple just to fold and unfold. And check out the brakes on the back too. One of the biggest selling points for me is how lightweight it is. It weighs around 21 pounds, so it is much easier to lift into a car than a traditional wheelchair. That really matters when you're trying to help somebody get into the vehicle, carry their things, and try to keep everybody safe at the same time. So you don't want to be wrestling with some huge, heavy chair on top of, paperwork and doctor's notes and prescriptions and getting somebody in the vehicle itself. This one folds down easily and doesn't take up a ridiculous amount of room in the trunk or in the back seat. So as far as appearance goes, yes, I think it looks as good in person as it does in the photos. In fact, I think it looks better. I really like the white frame because it looks clean and modern, and it doesn't feel as hospital-y or institutional than some of those heavier, darker wheelchairs that we looked at. And the white frame with the black seat looks simple and streamlined, so I like that. The seat is about 18 inches wide, but the overall chair is only around 20 inches wide, which helps explain why it feels so slim. You still get a comfortable adult-sized seat without having a giant chair that is difficult to move through doors, hallways, elevators, waiting rooms, or restaurants. It is also very easy to maneuver, and the front wheels swivel 360 degrees, which gives it a nice smooth glide and makes turning much easier. You're not fighting with it or trying to make some awkward three-point turn in the middle of the hallway. No, thank you. It is easy to push, easy to steer, and the ride feels smooth. It is also fairly easy for my stepdad to get in and out of it, which is incredibly important when you're dealing with a senior who is already weak or unsteady. So this chair also includes safety features. It has a seatbelt to help keep the person secure, along with brakes that can be locked before someone sits down or stands up. That is something we always pay attention to during transfers because the wheelchair can get away from you. You want to make sure the chair is completely stable before the person tries to get up or, get in or out of it. The listed weight limit is 220 pounds, so be sure to check that before you order. This is one of those products where you definitely want to make sure it is appropriate for the person who will be using it. So ours also came with a folding cane, which was a really nice added bonus. And I thought it might have been part of some kind of special promotion. So I would double check to see if your listing is running that special. The cane is handy for someone who can still walk a little, but may need a little extra support during transfers or once they reach their destination. Okay, another question that buyers have asked is whether this can be used outdoors. Yes, it works well for normal outdoor use, such as sidewalks, ramps, parking lots, and fairly smooth paved areas. The wheels move smoothly, and the chair is easy to control. As you can see, we're kind of testing this out in this video. We're really putting it to the test. And I would still use caution, though. Even though this does move very smoothly, you still want to use caution on thick grass, deep gravel, steep hills, potholes, or really rough ground. This is a slim, lightweight transport chair is not meant to be an all-terrain vehicle, you guys. So just keep that in mind. There's also a storage pocket on the back, which is helpful because whenever you are taking a senior somewhere, there always seems to be something extra to carry. And you have paperwork, glasses, snacks, a small blanket, a jacket, whatever else they may need. So overall, this has been a very practical purchase for our family. Buying mobility equipment is not always an exciting moment because it means you're buying it for somebody who needs it. But having the right equipment makes it easier and safer for everybody. But just make sure that you meet the weight requirement and that you can lift 20 pounds. As an added safety feature, they've actually included this nifty little seatbelt. So take a look at that. If you have somebody who might suffer from seizures or is a bit of a wiggler in their seat, this might be just the thing that you need. And it's this kind of attention to detail, these kind of safety features, the fact that it glides smoothly, it's a nice smooth ride. These are all high quality features, and it lets me know that the brand actually does really care about the customer. They really do care about making your ride better, the caregivers care easier, all of those things. But I also like that everything is modular pretty much. So you can just fold it away, put it up very easily. I like that it has armrest. A lot of these chairs don't have armrest, and that's just not comfortable. So even the comfort is thought of in this wheelchair. Also, big shout out to my moms here for helping me put this together and test it out. She did a great job as my model. My stepdad gets to go where he needs to go without struggling through a parking lot or risking another fall, and so we like that. And we like that we don't have to lug around a really heavy giant wheelchair. It looks good, it's lightweight, it folds easily, the front wheels swivel smoothly, and is super easy to travel with. For appointments, errands, family outings, or helping someone move safely from place to place, this is actually really, really useful. So I highly recommend it.